Dante's Purgatorio, Canto 3, Discourse on the Limits of Reason, Foot of the Mountain, Those Who Died in Contumacy of Holy Church, and Manfred. Inasmuch as the instantaneous flight had scattered them asunder over the plain, turned to the mountain whither reason spurs us, I pressed me close unto my faithful comrade. And how without him had I kept my course? Who would have lifted me up along the mountain? He seemed to me within himself remorseful, of noble conscience, and without a stain. How sharp a sting is trivial fault to thee! After his feet had laid aside the haste which mars the dignity of every act, my mind, that hitherto had been restrained, let loose its faculties as if delighted, and I my sight directed to the hill the highest towards the heaven uplifts itself. The sun, that in our rear was flaming red, was broken in front of me into the figure which had in me the stoppage of its rays. Unto one side I turned me, with the fear of being left alone, when I beheld only in front of me the ground obscured. Why dost thou still mistrust? My comforter began to say to me, turned wholly round. Dost thou not think me with thee, and that I guide thee? 'Tis evening there already, where is buried the body within which I cast a shadow. 'Tis from Brundisium ta'en, and Naples has it. Now if in front of me no shadow fall, marvel not at it more than at the heavens, because one ray impedeth not another, to suffer torments both of cold and heat. Bodies like this that power provides, which wills that outward works be not unveiled to us. Insane is he who hopeth that our reason can traverse the illimitable way, which the one substance in three persons follows. Mortals remain contented at the quia, for if he had been able to see all, no need there were for Mary to give birth. And ye have seen desiring without fruit those whose desire would have been quieted, whichever more is given them for a grief. I speak of Aristotle and of Plato, and many others. And here he bowed his head. And more he said not, and remained disturbed. We came meanwhile unto the mountain's foot. There so precipitate we found the rock, that nimble legs would there have been in vain. Twixt Lecce and Turbia, the most desert, the most secluded pathway is a stair easy and open, if compared with that. Who knoweth now upon which hand the hill slopes down? My master said, his footsteps staying, so that who goeth without wings may mount. And while he held his eyes upon the ground, examining the nature of the path, and I was looking up around the rock, on the left hand appeared to me a throng of souls that moved their feet in our direction, and did not seem to move, they came so slowly. Lift up thine eyes, I to the master said. Behold, on this side, who will give us counsel if thou of thine own self can have it not? Then he looked at me, and with frank expression replied, Let us go there, for they come slowly, and thou be steadfast in thy hope, sweet son. Still was that people as far off from us, after 1,000 steps of ours, I say, as a good thrower with his hand would reach, when they all crowded onto the hard masses of the high bank and motionless stood and close, as he stands still to look who goes in doubt. O happy dead, O spirits elect already, Virgilius made beginning, by that peace which I believe is waiting for you all, tell us upon what side the mountain slopes, so that the going up be possible, for to lose time irks him who most knows. As sheep come issuing forth from out the fold by ones and twos and threes, and the others stand timidly, holding down their eyes and nostrils. And what the foremost does, the others do, huddling themselves against her if she stop. Simple and quiet, and the wherefore know not. So moving to approach us thereupon, I saw the leader of that fortunate flock, modest in face and dignified in gait. As soon as those in the advance saw broken the light upon the ground at my right side, so that from me the shadow reached the rock, they stopped, and backward drew themselves somewhat, and all the others who came after them, not knowing why nor wherefore, did the same. Without your asking, I confess to you, this is a human body which you see, whereby the sunshine on the ground is cleft. Marvel ye not thereat, but be persuaded that not without a power which comes from heaven doth he endeavor to surmount this wall. The master thus, and said those worthy people, Return thee then, and enter in before us, making a signal with the back of the hand, and one of them began, Whoe'er thou art, thus going turn thine eyes, consider well if e'er thou saw me in the other world. I turned me towards him, and looked at him closely. Blond was he, beautiful and of noble aspect, but one of his eyebrows had a blow divided. When with humility I had disclaimed ever having seen him, Now behold, he said, and showed me high upon his breast a wound. Then said he with a smile, I am Manfredi, the grandson of the Empress Costanza. Therefore, when thou returnest, I beseech thee, go to my daughter beautiful, the mother of Sicily's honor and of Aragon's, and the truth tell her, if else be told. After I had my body lacerated by these 2 mortal stabs, I gave myself weeping to him, who willingly doth pardon. Horrible my iniquities have been, but infinite goodness hath such ample arms that it receives whatever turns to it. Had but Cosenza's pastor, who in chase of me was sent by Clement at that time, and God read understandingly this page, the bones of my dead body still would be at the bridgehead, near unto Benevento, under the safeguard of the heavy cairn. Now the rain bathes and moveth them the wind, beyond the realm almost beside the Verd, where he transported them with tapers quenched. By malison of theirs is not so lost eternal love, that it cannot return, so long as hope has anything of green. True is it, who in contumacy dies of Holy Church, though penitent at last, must wait upon the outside this bank. 30 times told the time that he has been in his presumption, unless such decree shorter by means of righteous prayers become. See now if thou hast power to make me happy, by making known unto my good Costanza how thou hast seen me, and this band beside, for those on earth can much advance us here. For those on earth can much advance us here. For those on earth can much advance us here. That, in summary, is purgatory. Purgatory, going to the Catholic Church, is a place where you cannot achieve any more. There's the church suffering, there's the church triumphant, there's the church militant, and you have the church triumphant, which is heaven. You have the church militant, which is earth, and you have the church suffering, which is purgatory. Those on earth can achieve for themselves. Those in heaven can